This will be a demonstration of the Quickdraw Design Tools Advanced Network Design Tools. Now, when I looked at the basic design tools, I had the capability of drawing a line. And when I go back in and look at the Echo and Iris tools, I have a tool here to add echoes and colors. What the Advanced Network tool does, if I go back to the Network Drafting tool on the pattern line, I have two advanced tools here. If I hit the colors bar, I now have the ability to add colors. For example, if I would just want to take that existing pattern and add, make it red, yellow, green, and blue, and hit the rotation, I now have that. I find when I'm in color, having a black warp gives me better contrast. Let me set the warp, and when I scroll out, I can see that pattern is there. So that's the first level. Now I also have an ability of, let me ask for 3 echo threads. Now I have a position of where I want those echo threads. That really says for a thread that's at the bottom shaft, that would be the lowest level here. And if I want to add echoes, 2 shafts above, and say I want those to be red, I can now drag colors from the palette. Red, yellow, green, and blue. So what I've now done, let's scroll out a bit, I can now see that I've added those echoes in that color sequence. I have an ability of changing those positions. You'll notice each time it's going to show me where the float, how long the float is. So these are all, okay, so I've got a 5-thread float there, so it varies a lot depending upon what I'm looking at, and I can decide where that threshold is. And I can add whatever color. You can also see the amount of color change it has in the pattern by the positioning of the echo threads. So this turns out to be a pretty powerful color design tool. Let me take color back out again. Now, the other thing I can do here is reverse the thread on the initial. Let me scroll back up. This design line has a rising edge, a level, a falling edge, another level, and another rising edge. I have a choice on the initial and or on the treadling keys to reverse it on the rising edge or the falling edge. And we'll draw the line, we'll look at where the line changes is, so it will actually center that shift in the middle of a flat spot. And so, as I look at that, I can see some of the twill areas here. As I hit the reverse initial, I can see that that's now shifted on that point. And I shift that direction, I can see the shift there. So I've now created a square edge in the middle of it. If I go to the ribbon, I can actually, I can scroll the ribbon around. And I can actually control what those areas look like. I can turn the edge senses back off here. So rising edge, falling edge. So I've got an awful lot of control over exactly what's going on in the pattern. So that gives me a little bit more control over the complexity of the design. This is a brief update for version 5.9. And what I've done is expanded the number of shafts available for network drafting to a full 32. So you can actually design and weave on 24 or 32 shafts. You can set that wherever you want to. And then you have the ability on the colors, initials, and reversals, and everything else to manage all 32 shafts and for echoes and